most amazing Miss Casey here with us today to showcase and share her experience in the insurance industry. With no further ado, Miss Casey, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Casey Doll. You might see me on TikTok or Instagram as Casey the Dollar. And I own an insurance agency called Power 3 Financial. I've been in the industry for about 5 years, and I'm super excited to be here with you, Patrice.
And thank you so much. And just to double back on my comment, because we did have a blooper, and I'm okay with that. You live rent free in a lot of people's minds, and some better than others. But at the end of the day, you do the one thing that I love the most, and that's showcasing a product and how it can benefit a client. Because at the end of the day, insurance is not a one size fits all, it's a one size fit most. And how can I fit it to your situation? So thank you for being who you are on the internet. So, with no further ado, let's jump into this. So, Ms. Casey, could you describe your initial career path and what led you to the insurance industry?
I was recruited by someone like most people are, right? Hey, have you heard about getting your life insurance license? It's a really great opportunity. And I was in the market for a new opportunity. It took me a couple months to say, you know what, okay, I'll get my insurance license. It was a small group of people, and everything was on Zoom. It was, middle of COVID time. And I was really intrigued by the IUL specifically because I had never heard of anything like that before. I don't come from a family of entrepreneurs or business owners or even college graduates. So the idea of this cash value growing with the market where you don't have to be super hands-on and know a lot about investing was really intriguing to me. And so I jumped right in and I got all of that typical experience of, hey, you just need to find 10 people and those people need to find 10 people and you'll be sitting on an island while they're making you money. And I was like, what's going on here? Like, this is something's wrong. Because too, he was presenting the life insurance policies as just tax advantaged accounts. And who has $250 that can put money into this tax advantaged account? And so I quickly realized there was a little bit of or a lack of transparency and a lot of
Hmm.
making money off of other people. So that was my intro. And I quickly, literally 4 months after getting my license and working a bit with this other company, started Power 3 Financial and said, you know what, we're going to be honest, we're going to be transparent. And I'm not going to focus on recruiting. I'm going to focus on the client. And so then here we are.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. It's almost starting to become like a haunting story when people go, I was recruited like many other people.
Yeah.
It's like there's not a single insurance agent that does not have that first sentence of how they've gotten to this industry. It's almost creepy. It's almost
Yeah.
more of a warning flag of a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
So tell me, at what point did you realize that the insurance was a field you wanted to pursue seriously?
Well, when I was first starting out, I was told, "Hey, you should post on social media. You should talk about, what you're learning and why you think this is valuable." And so, getting to post on social media has become like this creative outlet that I have. But I was really like I really loved just being on social media and making little videos and talking about things that I was excited about. And I wasn't doing anything that like I didn't want to do. I was fortunate, even though I was recruited into this,
Yeah.
this company. I was fortunate to be in a place where I wasn't needing to make money right now so bad, right? That I could really take the time to understand what it was I was talking about. And so after a couple of my videos went viral on TikTok within the first few months, I mean, I had like 300 people on my calendar asking me like, what are you talking about? Like, I have questions. And just this month of when I talked to just people from every walk of life, getting to experience all kinds of people, different ages, different genders, different states, different situations, different understandings of money, and really getting to just be not only like somebody who has information they're looking for, but just to be like a friend and a resource to these people was something that I really connect with in this industry is the helping side and the building relationships. And so, yes, like the information is really valuable, but getting to build relationships with people and like and earn trust from strangers across
Yeah.
the country was something that I was like, I could really pursue this. I love people. I love helping people. I love getting to experience all kinds of people and hear their stories, and then to top it off, getting to also make their life better or their financial life better or help them protect their family is just like the cherry on top. So for me, it's that side of it, really getting that one-on-one connection and like personal human connection with people that you would have never met before. At least
Yeah.
as far as like how my story has been or has played out, right? Being
Yeah.
nationwide through social media. So that's where I was like, I could do this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it, right? Like I enjoy the insurance information for sure, and always learning new things all the time. But it's that conversation when someone tells you like, wow, like you really helped me. Like not only you
Yeah.
helped me set up this policy and I know you did it right, but like you never pressured me, or you never like made me feel like you knew more than I did. And I think that's where I have like maybe a little special talent of just like being a normal person with these people. Um
Yeah.
and getting to play like an important little role in their life as well. So
No, it's huge because I mean, when you think about the product that we're selling, an IUL just isn't a death benefit. You know what I mean? It's a Swiss Army knife as we come to know it. It's more than just that. And we think about what happens all the time in people's lives. Like people have life events all the time. People get cancer, people
yeah,
become disabled, they get heart attacks, from the stress of work. And, especially in light of where our country is going, those pressures are high. And it's
yeah,
like just knowing you set a family up with something where they can access anywhere from 25% to 100% of the death benefit while you're still alive, like that is power.
yeah.
Miss Power Financial. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that brings me to my next question with you. So, I've been in the industry for over a decade, and my experience was not like yours. And I don't know if it's because things are changed and information is more accessible, because I kept bouncing back to my practice company like a bad ex-boyfriend because he was just better than everyone else out there. So how did you even come to be able to even start your own thing, especially, jumping in one place and so quickly realizing this is BS and finding that out? I didn't
Yeah.
find that until years later that I could do it on my own. How did you do that? And where did you even start?
I honestly, like, I was lucky enough to have a couple people around me who were like, other women, right? Other women who we looked at each other and we were like, we could do this better. Like, if this guy was doing it. I wasn't with, a WFG or a GFI or FFL. I was already working under a
Uh,
small business, right? So I saw his
yeah,
model and I said, can do this better. And not that it's just because we're women here, but like there's a
yeah,
bit of like women care more, like they do. And when I was making content, one of the first videos I made was how there are not a lot of female
mhm,
advisors or agents in any type of financial industry, right?
yeah,
We are not, the ones that overpower this industry. It's men. It's a man's industry
mhm,
with a suit and tie, and they're saying this is what you need to do for your family. And so I saw he's not an older guy either, early
yeah,
40s, but I saw what he was doing. And because that was only my only experience, I just basically copy and pasted it with a feminine touch and a little bit more empathy and transparency and
yeah,
said, let's go. Right? Because I didn't have the experience of this big, massive company with all these
yeah,
people. We weren't in not an MLM, but like we weren't being signed on that way. Like there was
yeah,
still a small group of 15 people. It wasn't like we were in these, 50, 100 people meetings. So again, like I was lucky at the same time
yeah,
that I was introduced to be like, hey, you get on Zoom, you have a couple meetings, you do trainings, you meet with clients, outside of that. And it it wasn't really like I had to put a lot of thought
Yeah.
into it, just make it my own and do it in what I saw as a more empathetic, kind,
Yeah.
transparent way. And utilizing social media because of the social media platform taking off and clients coming in, it wasn't that we were having a struggle of like, where do we find clients either? We just needed a place to take
Yeah.
care of them. So you open an LLC. You say, I'm going to do insurance business, you know? Um, like, but I know that my story of how I got here is much different than how most people get in,
Yeah.
for sure. So
I know, and you're right. Luck is part of it, but at the same time, you had to be the right person with the right mindset and the drive to do this and do it for the right reasons. So I
100%.
won't discredit you, too much, but that makes a lot of sense because you said something earlier that was so key, and that's transparency. This industry is not transparent by any means. So when I would ask questions, it's like you were getting roadblock when you were trying to figure things out, even down to just how your contract worked, how commissions work, how chargeback works. It's almost like if they explained it to you, you would figure it out. So you were
Yeah.
able to be in a position where it was laid out, there was no hiding it. So you were able to move on. And that's a lot of what they do in those MLMs. They keep you trapped, they keep you dumb because then they can tell you whatever and then you just do what they say. The amount of time I hear people saying, oh, you know, whatever these companies that they're at, whether I like them or not, because at the end of the day, like I said, there are some people that are at competitor companies that are happy, and that makes me happy. But then there's people that I hear saying things, not realizing they haven't hit that spot yet. You have not hit the pothole in the road yet. You're still early. Wait a second, because you haven't hit, that thing. Um, but I did want to ask you, just to go back to your social media because that's so huge. Like I said, you are a celebrity in my head, and all the things. And while we all hope for this, not all of us are prepared for that. But how did you handle that? All your fame, girl. Do you have security? No, but for real, how did you,
But for real,
how do you handle all of this movement? It's, especially because you have a lot of noise, a lot of haters coming up behind you. How do you filter through that and take care of your clients and balance this newfound fame of yours?
wow. It's definitely been a roller coaster for sure. I mean, there's good waves and there's bad waves where you post something where it's educational content, but for some reason
Yeah,
it's all people trying to say that you're wrong. You don't know what you're
yeah.
talking about. And I'll admit I have gotten into uh total like depression modes because of
Mm.
wow, everyone hates me.
Oh,
Right.
I thought you were gonna say you had to get you had time today and had to go yelling at people on the line, and you're like, no,
No,
depression,
but
depression.
at first, because it was, not that it's plateaued now, but like
Yeah, yeah,
in the beginning, um, I mean, not a lot of people get on something like TikTok and then all of a sudden they have 400,000 or 500,000 viewed videos
yeah.
immediately. So it was like so much at once. Um, and then it slows down. But so when those haters come out, I
Mhm.
really have had to train myself to ignore, ignore, ignore. And
Yeah.
that blocking accounts is okay. You just want to block the account. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, and you I think that a lot of people, like myself included, like I focus more on the negative, and I've had to go and say, okay, yes, like there's a lot of really horrible comments here, but for
Yeah.
every horrible comment, there's somebody else saying like, wow, this is amazing. So like you just have to ignore it, right? And you have to realize like not to bring up like this is so like pop culture, but like the
Yeah.
Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight recently, they
Mhm.
some of the announcers were literally saying Jake Paul doesn't care if he's getting good press or bad press. Just talk about me, right? And
Yeah.
not that like I don't feel like I ever say anything that deserves to be talked about in a bad way,
Yeah.
but you're talking about me, fine. Like because someone's gonna say, well, who's this girl that you're talking about? They're gonna go watch my video and they're gonna be proved wrong that
Yeah.
this guy, he was just talking crap because he doesn't understand the product. Because I have plenty of rebuttal
So
videos
let's talk
in
about
my
that. We
content.
So let's talk about that. I want to pivot over to that, and I'm so glad we touched on that. So tell me about a time where one of your competitors' clients saw your video and gave you a ring ring. Tell
One
me
of
about
my
that.
competitors, well, you know what's funny is no one has ever given me none, and like, because like none of my clients have ever doubted what I've done for them. None of
Hmm.
them. Like to the point where they call and they say, "Hey, Casey, I saw this. What the hell? Like, is going on?" You know. But
Yeah.
I did see one of my clients in a live with a Primerica agent talking about this is what my client did. Oh, who's your client? Oh, it's Casey the doll. And I'm watching the live. And I'm like, I texted him and I said, "Hey, what's going on? Why are you talking to him? Like if you have questions, please let me know. But you have to do it in a like a not like
Yeah.
you have to do it in a certain way, right?" So I just said,
Yeah.
"Hey, saw you in a live. Is something wrong with your policy? Like, do you have questions about it? Like, please let me know." And he was like, "No, nothing's wrong, Casey. Like, I just, this guy's been really loud on social media. I wanted to see what he had to say.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I know my policies are set up right." I was like, "Oh, thank God, thank God." But I and that's not to say that people have not questioned without
Yeah.
knowing for sure, but I have actually talked to people, some of my clients who they're the ones that tell me, "Have you seen all these trolls on social media?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah," and they're like, I mean, I'm so lucky to have the clients that I do. I have clients that are on TikTok all day long vouching for me, have my back,
Wow.
like
Wow.
on all of the haters' comments. And I think it comes with like the longevity of how long I've been on
Yeah.
doing it and how I've stayed on a very straight path of like this is what I talk about, this is what I do. Just because some people use their social media to kind of encompass a lot of things. No, I'm very straightforward. I talk about IULs, I talk about life insurance. That's it, you know. So I really haven't had somebody come and tell me like I need you to prove to me that what you did was right, or I need
Yeah.
you to do this. If anything, they're coming and telling me, "I told so and so that he needed to learn from you and he needed to watch your videos. They don't get it." Um, you know, I think it just comes with the way that I present things. Like there's
Yeah.
room for error. There's no room for like maybe I'm not being truthful about what I say because I will use facts and illustrations and
Yeah.
statements. Like I'm not making things up, right? So that people can blow holes
Yeah.
in it. But of course people are always going to question things. But I've also left my door so open that when people have questions, my clients are texting me nonstop. They're telling
Yeah.
me, "I saw this guy post this thing. What do you think?" It's usually that. It's usually I saw this
Yeah.
say this. What do you think about it? And if I tell them, "Oh, I think that's a bunch of crap," they're like, "I figured you were gonna say that." I'm like they
Those are my
trust me
favorite.
over the people online. Has it made it harder these days to break into new clients? 100%, right? Because
Mm.
a lot of my clients have been following me now for 4 years, 5 years, 3 years, and it takes them a year to 6 months to reach out, right? But now that there's so much noise, there's so many different people saying like what she's saying is wrong,
Yeah.
what he's saying is wrong, and what he's saying is right, she's saying is right. So that I think people are more confused now. Uh,
Yeah.
that it makes it harder to utilize social media to go and
Yeah.
find clients because it's so oversaturated with all sides of everything. Um, so it's just you have to be the loudest and the most factual. There's no room for error, even more so
Yeah.
is right. So
No, most definitely. Because I feel like, and you're so right, because it's so saturated. And, even when people make the negative comments about products, I think about, like I said, all of us are McDonald's franchises. And some people just make shit hamburgers. Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? But it's just that one on East Street, not every single one. And then we're held to the standard of that one bad business. And I would say, and so I guess my last question on that, has there ever been any naysayers on your TikTok that have ever even showed you why you were lying, other than just saying you're wrong?
Has there ever been like the people that tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, usually they're just saying they don't know what they're talking about.
Because
It's
I feel like when it's, yeah.
no, tell me what.
No, I was just saying, but I feel like when I respond with a couple of facts. Like, especially if
Yeah,
I
of course.
see them post like an IUL, they're like, "Oh my God, my client had to cancel." And then I see a bunch of, "Can I share this? Can I share this?" And I said, "If you were a good agent, you wouldn't share that." I said, "Because number one, there is no cancellation fee to cancel your policy." You know what I mean? And I'm like, and it's like number two, we don't even know what this policy was set up for.
Yeah,
The amount of clients that sometimes they just, not every client keeps in touch with us after we talk to them.
for sure.
Otherwise, we're bothering them. We do what we do. We do our touches, whether it's 6 months, every 6 months, every quarter. But for the most part, they'll forget what they signed us up for. Even if it's final expense, they'll forget. So
Yeah,
sometimes they even forget how we set them up too.
very true.
So they're just like, oh, I know it does this. And then that person will drive on that fact and make
Yeah.
them feel like they've got the wrong thing. And it's just like, you don't even know the product. I would never do that to a client when I go into their home. I would tell them exactly what they have and don't change it.
Yeah. And that's where like that client process is really important, right? Like
Yeah.
I'll spend 15-30 minutes on the phone with someone, go into and then send them multiple documents, a video to watch, then get on an hour-long Zoom, most likely get on a second hour-long Zoom, to the point that they're not like experts at the product, but
Yeah.
they've gotten it drilled in hard enough that they're to some degree not going to forget. Like that, and
You're
that's
not
part
just
of the
trying
right
to sell a
process.
term and dip out something
No.
quick and go. It's like,
Yeah.
no, this is a process and and that's what I'm saying. I feel like insurance agents don't sell insurance. They just sell insurance.
Yeah.
Like you're not sitting down with the client, you're not looking at their life from a scope, trying to figure out the best need for, because to me, I cannot, and in my head, the life of me, knowing what I know about insurance, knowing what I know about life, use my 401k as a death benefit, something that is a high ass liability that can go up, down, or disappear at
Yep.
any point in time. And then to only have insurance for a certain period of time, like, baby, this is not the 50. We're not paying $8 and some pebbles for rent. We're
Yeah.
not retiring financially set. And
Yeah.
even the things that we need to be there aren't going to be there, or they're not going to be efficient enough. So how can you tell me someone at 65 years old, now that their term is gone, they should be good, and then you've already shitted on the other products, so they're
Yeah.
not even thinking that. Now
Uh-huh.
what?
Now what?
What do they do? Rather than you pushing me away, why don't we link arms and you send me your clients you can't cover? But
Yeah.
they won't do that, because then they'll lose all their clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely not. Uh,
So, moving on. So, transitioning from various jobs, what skills or lessons from previous roles, like working in customer service or at the salon, have helped you succeed in insurance?
yeah. I mean, I've done so much customer service work in my time, from working at different restaurants to doing. I was like, did like some admin jobs where I was front desk. I worked at a lot of gyms, um, front desk gyms,
I
a lot of childcare.
Seems on brand for you. I don't know why, but
Gyms.
you just being front service, customer service, you just
Yeah,
are the face that makes me
yeah,
want to be here. Like, yes, I knew that
100%.
donut was not a good choice. Now
And
it's like I
then
knew spending my dollar was a good choice.
yeah, and then I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I worked at a domestic violence shelter for about a
Mm,
year. So like you mix customer service with like personal service of like
yeah.
the situation. Like the experience I had at the shelter makes the life insurance is like it, I think that life insurance is a very serious thing, and you get a lot of
Yeah.
really serious conversations with people about death and illness, you know, legacy planning, things like that. But when you compare that to like I've like picked up women who were trying to leave their abusive partners to
Yeah.
bring them to a shelter, like I could talk about death and dying and illness
Yeah.
day with somebody, it hugely prepared me without knowing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, everything else was, I worked at Starbucks for a while. And I was that girl. Like, that's the memorization, right, of different things.
Yeah.
It's also creating relationships, like all of the front desk, but Starbucks was a like you know, I don't know if you are like, but I've been boycotting Starbucks the whole thing, like why?
Baby, we got
But
Starbucks at home.
we got Starbucks at home. But Starbucks, the time that I spent there, was really special to me because
Yeah.
I loved working at Starbucks because I would be greeting. I was that girl that greeted people by first name.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrice, how's it going? How was your? I remember telling this lady like, how far did you run today? And oh, how's
Yeah.
it doing? And oh, how was that thing you did last week? And I would dress up and wear silly things like on my head, like bandanas, like with hearts,
Yeah.
or like reindeer antlers for Christmas, like random stuff. And it just like it was a creative outlet for me. And then also
Yeah.
getting to really build connections with people out of nothing, right? Out of zero.
Yeah.
So all of that just leading up to sitting on a Zoom with a stranger is like, it can be really intimidating for sure, especially
Yeah.
when they know you and you don't know them. Because for me, I'm always like this person, they might have told me like, Casey, I love your content, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm about to go like, who is this person that,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell them like, I need your social security number and I need your bank account information. Like you have to be really um,
Yeah.
have this ability to make people feel comfortable. If you don't, this job is very, because it's not a job, right? But this job is really
Yeah.
hard if you don't know how to make people feel comfortable about really serious
Yeah.
things. So the mixture from Starbucks and like domestic violence shelter services, like life insurance, right in the middle there.
Yeah. No, I see it because if you think about it, and this is like what I'm hearing with my ears, is you learn to have the tough conversations when people were in the period of having to have those tough conversations because having to come to the shelter, that's that baby, what you about to do? You're at the fork of the road. You're gonna go back or are we gonna do the hard steps forward? And those are a lot of conversations we have to be honest with our clients with. Sometimes they just don't get it. I mean, there was clients I've cried with for $20 a month policy and they mirrored my own life growing up, my upbringing, my upbringing of having lower economic status. Like I said, I would never say we're poor. We have what we need, just not the extra stuff. So when I know what their reality is going to look like, I'm just like, listen. At the time, you can take $20 to Dollar Tree and make it rain. So I used that example, and I was just like, baby, we make it rain at Dollar Tree. We make it rain again at the time at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And that policy is still on the books today. And I mean, they lived in a very jank part of town, but she knew that it needed to be done. And the family, while their income wasn't great, they all depended on her.
Yeah.
So she had to, offer, that little bit of space to make
Yeah.
sure. So, like I said, you learn to have a tough conversation, then just customer service. That is like so many lessons in one. You never know who's going to walk through that damn door. Like,
Yep.
and how many people have come to you for help, but they got the spotlight on your head. It's like, baby, you came to me for help and you're treating me like this. Don't even sure if I got the answers though. Go
Yeah.
ahead. So it's like it puts you in those positions where you have to act on the fly and you have to be on your A game the whole time because Starbucks ain't gonna let you just not be happy there because you're front line customer service. You're the
Yeah.
first line of defense when it comes to their business.
Yeah.
So makes perfect sense. So outside of all of your experiences, did you face any significant obstacles early on and how did you overcome them?
Yeah. So big obstacles, I think, in this industry is learning who to trust. And like what you're doing
Mm,
in this industry is going to help people a lot to figure out who they can trust, right? And along the way, I've just trusted some of the wrong people. When I first started Power 3 Financial, somebody else was a part owner, and this person, she was a really great um
yeah,
business owner, right? And she taught me a lot of different things. But I think what's hard for a lot of people too is this is such an emotional industry. When you're an entrepreneur,
yeah,
you don't know what money's coming in next. Like you could submit business today and not get paid out on it for 3 months. Like
yeah,
it's a very emotional game. And some people mix too much of their personal and business together,
Mm,
and that can be really hard. Especially you add this layer of like part owner of the company, and you're trying to make decisions together, and you're involving money and business and other managing people, and you know, divvying out clients
yeah,
and everything else. So the relationship did not work out. I had to end it, which was something for me where I am not a, like, even though like people think
yeah,
maybe on my social media like I can be like a really confrontational person. I
yeah,
can be confrontational all day behind the camera. You put me
yeah,
in front of somebody who I even care about slightly, who even if
yeah,
they've done me wrong, like I'm gonna have a hard time giving them the truth of like you gotta go
yeah,
this situation. Um I I knew that I cared about Power 3 Financial and my clients and myself more, and I had to put that first and get this person out of the business. And so while it was so emotionally taxing, like I'm so proud of myself that I did it and I didn't let this person come and like basically
yeah,
bulldoze over what I have accomplished and where I was going in the future. It had to be done, right? Even though it was
yeah,
and starting a business with more than you with anyone else, like having any partners in a business is
yeah,
extremely complicated. It just is.
yeah,
And even not owning part of the business, even just having agents under you that you want to represent you in any way, or treat your clients in a certain way, it involves a huge
yeah,
amount of trust. Um, and in my situation, like I have agents who have been working with me who the clients see me online, and then I ask these agents like to take care of them. Right. And so putting that trust into people who at one point were a stranger um,
yeah,
was really hard. And there have definitely been people that have ended up in the wrong hands. And that's falls onto me because I had them working with me. Right.
wow,
So learning who to trust, it has been a big one. And honestly, at this point, I've been keeping my circle really small just because
yeah,
I know that I have a lot riding on my brand and my image and my reputation in this industry that at this point people see that and they want to be involved. So I have to be even
yeah,
more cautious because it could ruin everything. I mean, I've been lucky enough. I had a meeting with someone recently who she talked to, so-called the business partner in the past, and
yeah,
a year and a half later is telling me I talked to her, but I wasn't super, impressed with the conversation and I didn't move forward and I still haven't gotten any life insurance. Are you available to work with me personally?
wow,
I'm like, oh my God. Like, and I'm like apologizing to her. She goes, no, it's okay. Like I understand, like you can't do everything. Like, and some people
yeah,
are very understanding. They're like, I understand you can't do everything. Other
yeah,
people are not understanding. Like they expect, I saw you online, you better work with me. You need to put my policy together. And if you put me with someone else, I'm going to be upset. So
yeah,
it's become how can we take care of more people more efficiently with less hands in the kitchen, right?
yeah,
Than I was doing it before. Like you just can't let anybody come when you want things to be done a certain way and you have
yeah,
to uphold. It would be different if it wasn't my clients, people that feel that they can trust me just from watching my content. Um,
yeah,
but when that gets in the way, that's, a whole other level of now I'm also responsible for how this agent interacts with this person. So
yeah.
finagling that throughout the years has been a huge challenge. All of that um, was, something that it's taken up until this point still to really get it under control and figure out what the best way, to handle it is, and still figuring out who to trust as well. So
No, I totally get that. I mean, I share the similar experience when it comes to business partners. And my heart, I just want to believe the best in some people. And again, some people have other agendas, or they have things going on in their life personally that instead of being honest with themselves, they project
Mm.
and try to blame other things. And now you've created this whole thing where now we're not even friends. Like, and I think that's the saddest part about it. It's like I would have maintained a friendship with you had you been honest with me and let you go your way. But then you like totally crossed the line and disrespected me. Like, baby, we can never be cool because now I know how you act when you're up against the wall and you're not my people. I don't want to kick it with you. So you had mentioned something about passing your agents off, or your passing off clients to your agents. In the instances where maybe the agents weren't the best representative of you, how did you overcome those? Like I know you had that one where it's like, hey, someone reached out to you a year later, but what about now within your process with the team you have now?
With the team I have now, I have 3 people that work with me who I trust wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
Still giving it away, but at the same time, 2 of them, we just hit our 3 years, of working
yeah,
together. So, um, and the other has really proved a lot in a short period of time, and he was a Northwestern Mutual guy for like 4 years. So I know he knows his stuff. Um,
yeah,
but what I do is I have control to see where they're at with all of their clients, right? So in
yeah,
CRM, I can see everything that they're doing. If something doesn't like if somebody doesn't continue through the process, like they know that they'll get a text from me of like, what happened? And if I'm getting
yeah,
like a response that seems a little weird, um,
yeah,
I will go and reach out to that client myself. Be like, hey, is everything okay with so and so?
yeah,
Like, I'll just intervene. Like, and they know that, and it's happened before to the point that they know that they better do the job correctly. Um, and 2, like, there have been like my team now we trust each other so much that when say a complicated case comes in,
yeah,
you can usually see it through our intake forms, and all 3 of them, and they know that I would do the same thing. Like all 3 of them will go, hey Casey, complicated case, can you work on it with me? Can we do it together? Because they
yeah,
don't want to mess anything up. Right? And they know
yeah,
that like if someone's gonna mess it up, Casey, you come be involved and make sure that everything's fine. They still to this day tell me, hey, I ran this illustration this way. It's a little bit different than how we usually do things. Can you check it out? Like
yeah,
have this level of transparency that like there's no need to worry. Like I know like there's business that's pretty straightforward,
yeah,
and then there's not. And the second it's not, we lean on each other. And so I did recently I let a couple people go.
oh wow,
I wasn't feeling that transparency, and I wasn't feeling like they were 100%, with the vision of Power 3 Family.
yeah,
And so it's become a thing where the second I I wish it was the second, but I usually give people a little bit longer than,
yeah,
but the second it starts feeling like something's off. I'm like eagle eyes on what they're doing, how they're doing,
yeah,
and talking to them, and just like giving them a few chances, not to mess around with clients. Uh,
yeah,
but I'll send one of the other producers, say, hey, can you go sit with her or him on the meeting? Right? I want you to be my eyes somewhere. And, just it's like a checks and balances thing. But
yeah,
if the vibe is not there and the trust is not there, they gotta go. I'm not in this business to make money off of other people
yeah,
at all, zero. Because I'm at a point I don't have kids.
yeah,
I have 2 dogs, and my husband, and we're in a place where what do we do with our time? We work. So
yeah,
if you're not handling clients the way I want them, I will take them. I will gladly work
absolutely.
all day. Yeah.
So tell me this. So I know you're quick to cut people off, and I'm sure that's going to get better as we mature and put our foot down because we have such good hearts. You know my story. I lead people into their traps so I can get rid
Yep.
of them. So I can be
Yep.
like, it was you, not me, because
Yep.
I really do care about people, but some people it's just not worth the confrontation. So I have to strategically walk them out. So my thing is, obviously you're quick to people let them go, but what makes them so special that you even bring them on? Because I know you want to keep a very limited, tight team and keep that trust. So you're like FBIing everybody with all the questions. So what makes an agent stand out that you're like, hey, I want to partner with you?
Yeah. It's it's that connection that you have. Like if you were looking for a place, I'd bring you on immediately from our first conversation because we can chat and there's no secrets, there's nothing.
Yeah,
It's not this like, what is she not telling me? You know,
yeah.
and some people they have that, but then they get in and a question that will blow your cover with me is, well, but does this carrier pay more? It's
Baby,
over.
that
It's
if I
over.
get 300 hit, punch you in the throat, as soon as it becomes about money, I don't want to be with you anymore.
No, it's over.
We're done.
Yeah. If
And
you
that's what I'm
ask me which carrier is better and because of, well, aren't I going to get paid more on this one? It's over. And that's what I had a really good relationship with someone and we were really connecting on a personal level, on a business level. They'd been in the industry for a while. I could see so much value. And then it was just commission question after commission question after commission question. And I was like, you've got to go. Yeah, it's done. Like I can't like that
no,
that
it's a super red flag. It
yeah.
most definitely is. Like you're not wrong. And I've had agents ask me that, or oh, do I get paid if I write a policy on myself? I immediately call the carrier, hey, put them on as earned. And then I watch them put in that policy, and then I watch it cancel. Like not even 2 seconds later after they got issued their $400 because they were trying to get 4,000. Absolutely not. Like for me, it's like where my client goes is so important. So if I put you somewhere, you literally had to be there. So I think you liked one of my videos. I was like excited where I shared how I just wrote a little over 5,600 in commission, but it's all going to debt. And one of the carriers canceled my contract due to some misunderstanding. But I literally told them, like, listen to me. I can literally write these clients somewhere else, and but to get the money you're asking me for, but I want them here. Like, unleash my contract so I can write them here. Another agent probably wouldn't have pushed the way I pushed and wrote them there and then paid them off. But then now you put your clients at a disadvantage because it was one of these things where it was either going to be F and G or Mutual of Omaha. And for me, their IULE, I sell it as final expense. I don't sell it as an IUL per se, but again, it does depend on my client and their age and stuff. But again, it's cheaper and I can get more coverage for them than I would final expense, and they get living benefits. And then obviously, if they borrow off their loan, which I've seen so many of my older clients in my tenure, my decade in the business, where they've had these whole life policies where they borrowed like 2 or 3 grand. But because you're only making 4% on the cash value, but they no, you're making 4% on the cash value, but they charge you 6% for the loan, you're upside down. So there's no policy when they die practically. Not, and now knowing I could put you in an IULE where it's 5%, but
Yeah.
you're making over 7% return, and it's definitely doing 9% based off of historical values. I can show you that. I'm not making those numbers up. Here is the proof, right next to the market and things of that nature. So yeah, definitely that's a massive that I think that's the only red. And there's others, but you wouldn't hire them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
of course.
But that one goes deep. It's after you get them in and they sign the paperwork.
And just if you want to learn about IULs, like you're not like it doesn't matter if you come to like, I have a meeting on Monday and a meeting on Wednesday, and we're gonna talk about it. Like I do case study, I do all kinds of different things to help people learn. That is not enough. If
Yeah.
you're having the same questions every single time because you're not going and doing more research, like it, I can't teach you everything. Like I can't teach you,
Yeah.
right? And I have people that have come on and they come to every single meeting, right? But every single meeting, they've watched more YouTube videos, they've read more of a different book, they have put in the time to that their questions get more and more advanced
Yeah.
throughout things and their input is more valuable. Where if someone is just like, I'm still stuck on how the indexing works.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been 3 months. Like you got to get
As
it
if it's not explained in an illustration.
as if,
Like,
right? Exactly. Like I don't understand the differences between the loan options. what do you mean? Like,
There's literally paragraph definitions in the illustration.
yeah,
Like,
like I like, and it doesn't matter how cool we are, like that's going to tell me everything I need to know, because when a new product comes out, a new version of a product comes out, I can't trust you to go and figure out how it works and to get it after one or two times sitting with it. What am I going to do? I have to hold your hand every single time something new happens? Like, I can't do that either. So you have to have a certain level of responsibility for your own education,
yeah,
understanding of products, or else, because so that mixed with, doesn't this product pay more? Oh man.
I'm
It's
like, you're like,
it's
hello, Fernandez. Yes, yes, give her badge and grab everything on her way out.
actually
Thank you so
one.
much.
You'll laugh at this. It's usually not even me who actually lets someone go, because I'm so like, I feel bad that
Yeah.
one of my girls who's been with me for like 3 years, she's all, don't worry about it, Casey, I got you. And she'll call them and I'm like, thank you so much. And then she'll call me after and I'm like, I don't even want to pick up her phone call to know how it went. Because I'm such a, like, I love people so much. I don't want them to feel, and I'm like, but they were such a good person. But like on
Hey, if
top
you
of
guys are
it,
listening, Casey ain't gonna fire you. Her friends
I'm
are.
not. And I'll
She's
just,
not.
but
At the end
McCall
of the day,
Marshall, you can find her online on my videos. She's going to.
but she's not. But at the end of the day, whether you're doing it or your
Yeah.
muscle's doing it, it's for a good reason. You're
Yeah.
not just kicking them to the curb. It's literally like, you don't represent my values or what I'm trying to do, and you're gonna mess me up. Like, even for me, my reputation is so huge, especially what I'm doing. I'm over here telling
Yeah.
people I'm honest, which is why I'm honest about my debt. I'm honest about me paying it back and not doing my chargeback, because I want other people. You need to be accountable for yourself. None of your debt should roll to your upline ever. There should be never a reason why, like, there's no reason they offer payment plans. So it's absolutely BS when someone tells me, oh, they wouldn't accept this, baby. They might not accept your payment plan, but you can still call them and make $100 a month payment. You can still make a $25 a month payment. Stop playing with me. Stop acting like you're five right now. Like, when they start acting like my son, my 12-year-old, I will almost lose my shit. I feel like, ooh. Like, I'm like, y'all are too grown at your big age to be acting like this.
No
All right,
way.
so hopping over to some fun stuff. So I know we touched on social media a lot, but how has social media played a role in building your client base? Are there any specific strategies you find most effective?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm not huge on like making scripts for my content for sure. But what kind of like my method of this, because social media is the whole reason that I'm here. That's the whole reason that Power
Yeah,
was created. Never bought in leads before. Like it,
so
like
beautiful.
social media
Sounds like a
is
fairy tale.
I know. I know.
Casey Bell's fairy tale story of the
Um,
industry.
but I will like take some time, right? I'll have an idea, and what I'll do is just ramble about it for like as long as I think TikTok lets you do 10-minute videos. I won't do a full
Mm,
10 minutes, okay? But like I'll ramble and I'll find a place to stop and I'll stop. And then you go into that recording, you don't just post it. Not
yeah.
all of that was valuable or needed to be said. You go find the highlights of that video, you
Mm,
cut it, you post it. Like, and if you want to save the entire thing to be able to use different highlights, take the
yeah.
highlight, the good little, um, snippet of, wow, that was a really good thing that I said right there. Love it.
Yeah.
Post it. Like, because then it's not putting so much pressure of like, this is what I'm gonna say, this is how I'm gonna say it. And you get sort of robotic. People, especially on TikTok, um, people love just like that you're talking to a friend. Like I'm
Yeah.
just talking to you from wherever I am. I'm not trying to do all this editing and this like all these, images popping on the screen and whatnot. They want to feel like you're just like
Yeah.
the next door, neighbor, whatever. And I'm just like, hey, this is what I know. This is so I'm telling you.
At the end
Hey.
of the day, you don't make us feel like we're getting a script. Some people, I feel like you're just giving me a script and you're telling me all of the business stuff they want you, the points they want you to hit.
It's
Whereas you, I'm
sales.
I'm hearing it.
Yeah. Like don't treat it. like, if you don't treat this industry like a sales industry, then it's not going to function like a sales industry. Like, I don't
Yeah.
ever feel like I'm selling anything. I'm educating, providing value, and in return, I'm getting paid for it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
doing some paperwork, like educate.
Never once in this whole conversation you didn't say, "Hey, you waste 250 a month. We could put 250 here." Like that
No.
is like the most annoying sales tactic I've heard before. I'm
Ah,
like, because there's no value in that.
100%. 100%. And the same thing with, like, if you have content that people are posting comments on it, right? Someone asks a good question, or even maybe it's not the greatest, whatever. People
Yeah.
people love their questions being answered, or if there's just like the amount of times that I have answered the question from a comment of what is an IUL. I have done it so many times that one time I started the video with like, "What's an IUL? Take 7,000." And like I cut this
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm a little dramatic here. But like I have done it so many times. Um like people see like that's what you're gonna talk about. Just go and talk about it. Just say what you know. It doesn't have to be this thought out.
Yeah.
What is an IUL? If someone asks you what's an IUL, what would you say? Well, this is what I would say. Like, this is what it is. So you can respond to comments this way. You can find little highlights. Like, not all of us are speaking perfectly and eloquently all
Yeah.
the time. But if you can just kind of like mash little, like, this was a really perfect idea that I had right here. Like, someone else is going to see value in it. Great. Um, a lot of times, like, content that I've had do really well is just like giving people like a breakdown of like this versus that, right? Like
Yeah.
I've seen some other creators do really well with just this is how term insurance works, this is how whole life works, this is how universal life works. Like, and explain it in a simple way, because you have to remember
Yeah.
people watching your content don't know anything. You're the expert. And if you try to over sell it or over explain, it's not going to go anywhere. People are going to be bored. Bye.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
really simple. Like, you're talking to your friend who has no idea what you do for work and has never heard of life insurance before. And you don't have to be sitting in an office and in looking all professional. Like,
Yeah.
I've had some videos where I'm like, why that one? Like, why did that one do well? My hair is in a bun. I have
You know
mascara
what I'm
under
saying?
my eye. Like, and I was just
I
like,
swear
I
those are
need to
my
post something.
it's like that's my best videos where they're just like, that's a real person. That's someone I could get behind. When I'm in
Literally.
factory settings,
Literally.
like
Exactly. Exactly. And
uh,
you don't see every once in a while, sure, the guy with the suit and tie sitting in his office says something profound and the video gets thousands and thousands of views.
yeah.
Fine. But most of the time, even though someone is the people are watching it, they're gonna think, I don't want to work with that guy though. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go find the other person that was like way more chill and like at my level, and I want to work with them. You know,
Yeah.
that guy just confirms what Casey was saying. So now I'm gonna go work with Casey. Like, because she's
Because
on her
it's
couch, she's chilling.
yeah,
She
it's so approachable, more digestible. It's like
exactly.
there's not this shielded gate when you go and talk to them and they could just pour out. And I feel like we both have that. And I think I had to learn the filter system of not to waste my time with people. And I had to learn how to set boundaries. And a lot of that was giving people, like you said, giving them homework to do. And then when they've come back to me and there's nothing there, I make sure it's low contact after that or cease. I slowly start to pull back because I'm like, this is a person that's going to drag me down. They're a cancer. I got to pull
Yeah.
back before they take me with them. Um, so, what platforms do you focus on the most and why?
TikTok 100%. I post on Instagram as often as I post on TikTok because any content I post to TikTok gets automatically posted to Instagram. But I'll tell you sure right now, I don't like Instagram. It's too salesy and everyone is comparing their lives and whatever.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel as real to me. Like TikTok, which, fingers crossed they're not going to ban it in January, but
yeah,
TikTok is where there are real people not giving a crap about how they look, how, who sees their content. I like I love TikTok because just because I have 100,000 followers on it does not mean that's who's seeing
Yeah.
this content. Every single time someone new from a different state, different part of the world is going to see the content, you are literally talking to a bunch of strangers. Who cares? Like literally, who cares?
Yeah.
You care, obviously, right? Like we care. I want
Yeah.
them to see the video. I want them to reach out to me, but like, who cares? Like you don't know them. You don't know them. In Instagram, you're gonna post it, and everyone you know is gonna see that content. If
Yeah.
decent video, whatever, but it's gonna be pushed to your friends and the people that follow your stuff and who are like more active in your on your page. I love
Yeah.
TikTok for that reason, and it it just it's where I feel you can be more of yourself and you're not
No, 1000%. 1000. It's without the facade, because you're right. It is more, it's a little bit more bougie on the Instagram there. It's a little bit more cleaned up for sure. And I was going to say, to your point about, the social media, and we'll kind of wrap up on that topic. When you say that you answer the questions that, hey, people ask, and you make that as a post, I always feel like I can learn from anybody, whoever you are, whether it's what not to do. And so, early on in my career, I was at NAA, or they go by the Alliance now, and I got to sit at the top producer dinner with Andy Albright. And the one thing lesson that I've learned from him that I've taken with me throughout my career, and I think it's something that I've always known, but then someone gives you a phrase for what you already do. And I asked him, I said, how can I be a better salesman? And he goes, you talk too much. And he said this in front of a whole table of people. But I'm down for constructive criticism because I always want to grow and be better. And I was, while everyone was doing the ooh and the ah, like, oh, you just got told, I was like, well, tell me more. What do I do? And he
Yeah.
proceeded to give me a story about, hey, when a guy's on a date and he's got the girl and she's like, oh, you're so amazing and all the sweet nothings, and the guy's just sitting there, he already won.
Yeah.
And that's when he told me people love to talk about themselves.
Hmm.
That's the biggest selling point, and that has helped me so much because I'm such a talkative person. And I, even in this podcast, right, I learned to ask questions, right? The person who asks the most questions wins. And that helped me fill up that void when I'm with customers and I feel like it's so empty and quiet because you're like, they're just staring at you and you're filling out things. And I learned to go, how did you two meet? And then
Yep.
there goes the his, the hers, and that's the real story.
Yeah.
So those things allowed my clients to basically talk themselves into a sell. And I learned to ask those questions whilst I'm in that cell too. Like, oh, okay, great, wife. When you come home to you're home tomorrow. Your husband doesn't come home. What are you going to do? Don't look at him, baby. He didn't come home. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? To be able to ask them that, they sit there and they fumble. I let them sell themselves. The fact that you don't know a password, a login, anything,
Yeah.
that's a problem, ma'am.
Yeah.
And then you lost your boo thing on top of it. I mean, obviously, I'm more awesome and dramatic in the meeting. I just get to be sarcastic and funny here, but that's real life. Those are the hard conversations that we need to have.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So, challenging the status quo. So we've talked about this a lot already. So many traditional insurance companies offer standard products that may not fully meet our clients' needs. How do you approach creating or choosing products that better serve your clients?
Yeah. I mean, I have created Power 3 Financial in with the idea that we specialize in IULs, right? So, and the way that we're set up, a lot of people come to us looking for an IUL. It's usually, um, depending on what they need, right? I have the right questions to ask them. If they're telling me that they want cash value, okay, like, but do you want living benefits? Right. And if
Yeah.
they're saying, well, what are living benefits? Well, okay, let me tell you what that is. Now, is that something that's important to you? Maybe. Okay, well then I guess we're gonna have to compare across the industry of of what that looks like to have living benefits in your policy. I do have a large arsenal of 450 plus IUL products. And I have a system where I can just put the client's age, gender, health, smoker, non-smoker, and then type of product that they're looking for between term, permanent, final expense, cash value, you name it, and show them every single option that they could possibly want. Everything comes down to someone's priority. So I think I think people have a hard time when they don't have access to everything. Um, and I fortunately I do have access to most types of almost every single type of product, every single type of carrier. I think what is the biggest struggle in that regard of product choice is the idea of somebody who wants an IUL and isn't the right fit for an IUL, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of you have a 30-year-old who has $100 that they want to be able to put away. An IUL, in my opinion, is not the right fit for them. They are not in a place to be funding a cash value policy right now, because the $100 is not going to create a cash value on year one, possibly not even on year two. And if that's what they want, I'm doing them a disservice by putting them into that policy. Like
Mhm.
like my recommendation is usually that they need to get a term policy that's convertible over into an IUL later when they have more money to put towards it if this is something they really want to do. Um,
Yeah.
and so positioning the term policy to be converted over later usually is something that satisfies, if you don't have coverage, perfect. You have living benefits, great. And now you don't have to prove that you're insurable in the future. And I'm also staying true to what I tell people that I represent, which is that you're going to have a cash value at year one, regardless. If I can't get that for you, then I'm going to tell you I don't think this is the best idea. Now, is there
Mm.
not value in starting the policy regardless? No, there still is, but a lot of people don't realize that they have that choice to say, hey, you know, there's not going to be cash value for a couple years because of how much I can contribute. I'd rather get the term policy, get my finances in place, and then switch it over. No problem. Some people are
Yeah.
saying it's fine. I want to have it started. I'm going to be able to, like, it's going to drive me to want to make more money to be able to put over here. Okay. It's all about that conversation that you're having with the client to understand what's really going to make sense for them. Um, and often I'll pull up my software that can give them any type of life insurance product they want right in front of them and sit there with them. Like, this is how this works. This is how that works. This might be a good fit. This might, and spend all of that extra time to make sure that the recommendation I'm giving is the right one and that they fully understand the different options. Because a lot of people don't know either.
Yeah.
As much as we are experts or professionals in this industry, we don't always have the right answer without knowing the full picture either. So,
No, definitely. So with that being said, and helping your clients with the different various aspects of this industry, how do you stay competitive, with your current business and making sure that you're always offering the best product line for your clients?
yeah. I think when it comes down to these days is the education portion, right?
Mm.
Like if somebody reaches out to me just an email, like I'll instantly send them over a 45-minute long video that I put together and three different documents, right? And
Yeah.
I do that because I know that the information that I'm giving them, most people are not going to give it to them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So making myself stand out that way, um, providing information for free online that really breaks down products. Like I'm in a way, like I'm tired of doing content that's just like, what is an IUL? But at the
Yeah.
same time, with the idea that someone new has always seen it, you have to keep telling people what it is and break it down further. Find a
Yeah.
better way to explain it over and over and over again and not try to pivot to like this like are you looking for a tax advantaged way to save money for retirement?
Yeah.
Do this whole sales pitch. Like you keep being authentic, you keep giving education, you're going to keep standing out from the rest of the people that are just trying to make a sale. So
1000%. I was gonna say I compared an IUL to changing your car oil while doing a changing my car oil because
wow, I love it.
and I thought that was fun and creative, especially if I want to get guys involved because they're first of all they're like, what the heck is this chick doing under the hood? But
Yeah.
also, what's an IUL?
No.
And I want to speak it in their language because, like, you're right, right? We need to make sure we communicate with our audience in the language that they speak. Because number one, we have to bring the verbiage down. I realize I'm a genius when it comes to this business.
Yep.
So I'm kind of like my husband when I'm trying to ask him something about math or Excel, and he
Yep.
just talks to me like I know Excel, and I'm like, baby, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old and I don't know what you're talking about. So even I've
Exactly.
had to bring it down because I was like, oh, I did like a presentation for just regular life insurance, but it was like the calculus of life insurance, and it wasn't even IULs, and I overdid it, and I was like, dang, I have to go like downer, like lower. I was like, let me go sit down and go do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, last question on this. What are some of the misconceptions clients have about the big name insurance products, and how do you educate them better on the alternatives?
Yeah. One thing that really resonates with people is this idea that, hey, Nationwide, Transamerica, they are really well known, right? Everyone knows
Yeah.
them. Everyone knows Nationwide and Transamerica. Why? Because they spend a lot of money on marketing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's where you're putting your money. And you know what they're doing with some of, not saying like they're taking your premium dollars and spending
Yeah.
marketing. However, they're allocating a lot of their resources to get their name out there, right?
Wow.
Now, when you see a company that I'm going to show you that you've never heard about before, and I tell you they don't spend any money on marketing, how do you feel about that? And they're like, oh, well, I'd rather go with a company that doesn't do any marketing. Like, why? What does that make you think? Well, they probably have a better product. And that they're right. Like they do
Yeah.
have a better product because they're spending more of their resources on their product. Right. So that's one thing. Like it kind of like clicks with people like, oh, that's why you see
Yeah.
banners and they're owning a stadium and they're doing all of this. And then the idea that um, some life insurance companies have shareholders, like they have investors, and other companies don't. And there's really not like I don't have a preference. I have multiple carriers that I'm like they're in each category and they both are really great. However, when you're talking to someone about a company that's publicly traded, they have investors, like, hey, this company, yes, you're a policy holder, but they are actively trying to get more outside investors into the company. Versus this company, no outside investors,
Yeah.
their policy holders own the company. I have people tell me, I don't care. Like, okay, just bringing you the information.
Yeah.
Then I have people tell me, I don't want anything to do with the public company. Okay. Right. And like, usually the public or the not public company, right, is also not doing marketing and also not doing this. And it just like dawns on people that, oh, like everything I'm being fed all the time, that doesn't mean that it's number one.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
Yeah.
they're the best, right? You see a lot of like known named companies being number one on Google. It's not because
Yeah.
they're actually number one. It's because they've
Yeah.
paid to have the number one spot because they're the most well known or they have
Exactly.
policies.
Exactly.
I mean, they have the best product. So like that's a big thing. I think that agents leave out too, even in their own decision of what recommendations they're gonna make,
Yeah.
right? So
No, you're right. Because I say the same thing about In-N-Out Burger. I'm like, all you hear is that, like, at the end of the day, there's like no physical commercials that I've seen other than that little radio jingle. But I'm like, but it's a damn good burger.
but it's
For sure.
and there's
For sure.
always a line out the door or
For sure.
out
And
around the building.
and they're consistent. They're absolutely consistent. It doesn't matter where you go, that burger is going to taste the same whether you're in Texas,
Yeah.
Nevada, or California. And every time the owner comments on something on Instagram, I'm like, please come to Indiana. I will run the store.
Please.
I'll run the store. I'll do it. I'll go back to work.
That's funny.
Um, so how has your perspective on the insurance industry evolved since you started?
Oh man. Something I say a lot is like I didn't know that the insurance industry, specifically life insurance, could be full of so much drama.
Oh,
Like
we could have a whole reality show, girl. A whole
wow,
reality
I
show.
was, just like a total newbie, like, oh, like this stuff is so valuable. I'm gonna make TikTok videos. I'm gonna like I'm gonna start a business, it's gonna be great. Look at all these people that they want to talk to me. Awesome. Like this is wonderful. Like how did I end up here in this place? Like I'm so blessed to have found this little niche of
Yeah.
of a career. And then the drama kicks in of like I swear it's like every 3 months or so, there is a new villain inside the life, not CPAs, not financial
Yeah.
advisors, literally life insurance agents. And it's mostly who I'm referring to is people who sell IULs, like people who are my direct competition that I thought we were cool. Turns out we're not cool because he's or she's screwing over their clients. Or whatever it is. I mean, the amount of relationships I've built and then crashed completely
Yeah.
to nothing is wild for a virtual career space.
You
Like
know
I
what
don't
I'm
even know
saying?
these people face to face.
Because this is my reality, sometimes I have to remember that reality and be like, why is there so much drama? Like, bro, you live 1,000 miles from me.
Yeah,
Why
it's
do
wild.
you
Like
want to be
it's
online? Like,
it's
baby, you
insane.
couldn't see me if I was in person. Like,
Literally. Like I got
oh
a
my,
text, I think it was in August from a guy that like I had him on my podcast. We would chat here and then. Like he was using me as inspo and like quickly on Instagram, he totally outpaced me. He became like kind of like a big
yeah,
shot. And but at the same time, a couple of his clients were like, "Can you check his work?" And so I checked his work and I was like, mm. And because of the relationship I had with this person, went out of my way and said, "Hey, this is what's happening. This is
yeah,
what I told him. Um, it sounds like I'm gonna 1035 the business, okay? But I wanted you to understand why and what's happening. And it was more than just like the client was upset with like the carrier they were given. He was upset
yeah.
with the interaction with this person. And
Mm.
I could understand why, because this person was getting flooded. It was like at a high point, and he kind of just didn't have time for everybody. I get it. You're the fame, right? The fame of like you're getting
Yeah,
well, you just don't have time for everybody. You're kind of like, hey, talk to this guy, talk to this guy, like I don't have time or whatever. So this guy was upset. Um, but then here's me, just as big of an online presence, sitting down talking
yeah,
to him, doing all the steps, right? So I told him, I'm gonna take the business. I just wanted to be straightforward. And I told him, months before the business even actually went through. And he had the opportunity to talk to the client, fix it.
yeah.
Didn't work. It didn't work. The client's texting me screenshots of like, can you believe he said this? And I just, I told him what's up. It's the client's choice, whatever it is. And I thought there was a mutual respect. And then one day in August, I get a text that's like, due to whatever, like due to you stealing my clients, I've decided like this relationship is over and I'm canceling this going forward and I'm blocked everywhere. And I was just
You're
like,
like, yes, because my life has changed so much since
my
you've
life
left
has
us.
changed to get
For
this. And
the better.
he literally was just like,
Oh my goodness.
oh my God.
And
Like
my
the
goodness, like you
drama.
literally did the right thing, which
Yeah.
most people won't do, which is call them and let them know. I'm always trying to reach out to the other agent because well, number one, I want you to know you're on notice. Not that
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a hater, but I'm trying to be helpful. Like, hey, what's going on here? Why did you do this
Yeah.
thing? But then
Literally.
obviously, if they become avoidant or refuse to reach out to the client until they know I'm gone out the house, that should be the client's baby. There's your proof. Like I was in a house where a Primerica agent was there before me. And again, people are listening. This is not to smack on Primerica agents. This is just a story.
But
Okay. I will say it about anybody else, right? But they had took them out of policies because of the practices that they teach. They took them out of policies they should have stayed in. So when I came in, the family had a whole disarray of items going on. I'm like, what is going on? Oh, well, our agent canceled these policies. I said, why? Why did they cancel them? Oh, well, we got more coverage and it was cheaper. And I said, okay, now you teachers that are about to retire in 1 year, before I open your policy, Did they tell you it's going to go up? No, it won't. It's a renewable term. It's whole life. Oh, really?
Good.
Right on there, black and white. The policy is going to go from $68 to like $348. They can't
Wow.
afford that. And even if you brought down the policy to maybe 30,000 now, it still would be far more than they were paying already. Because if I would have came in that house while I was only there for one person, if I would have saw all those policies, I'd be like, don't touch this
Yeah.
unless you want more. Then I got you. I said, but don't let anybody else through that house unless you want more. Don't touch your policies because you guys are putting yourself in a bad spot. And it's like now they're paying more for less. And then the dad, we didn't have access to his policies. So she wanted to reach out to your agent. I said, you might not want to do that. She's not going to answer. She knows I'm here. She's like, no, she's my homegirl. She was here last week and all the things. And I said, okay. I said, because that's a really smart question you're about to ask. And all the questions she asked was, hey, where's my dad's policy and how long is it? She never told you how long that policy was. She knows that. And I said, that's a smart. I said, I promise you she won't write back. And would you know it? She did not write back. She didn't actually reach out to her until Monday. She wanted to make sure I was long gone. Come to find out, dad was on a 10-year term. It was going to go up to like 410, and they were not going to be able to afford that. So yes, I applaud you for doing the right thing, even if it ended a friendship. But that wasn't a friendship that needed to stick around. And
Yeah.
he obviously had to block you because that means more of his clients will find out, and they might even start speaking up. And again, that's why this podcast is so important. That's why agentscorereportcard.com is so important so that we can link arms and share this information because baby, that's going to be a report card and good luck trying to prove it, especially when people got screenshots. I allowed that to be on there. I want to see the text messages. So go ahead and try to clean up your life. Not going to happen. So I know we're kind of running over time here. I'm going to see if the process to kind of jump in and just ask you a couple more questions here. How do you hope to impact others in the insurance industry?
So, which it's a great question because I have mentioned already that I keep a tight circle, managing other agents, considering the brand and the image of the company,
Yeah.
has been something that has been difficult, right? And this industry is not easy. It's not a small, it's not a it's not an easy industry to be in. Being an
No.
entrepreneur is not, it's not for everyone. And so I've actually decided to take a little bit of a turn in the industry, and instead of focusing 100% on the clients, starting to focus on agents. I
Mhm.
recently started offering to do one-on-one sessions with agents, teach you how to set up your IUL, whatever carrier you work with. I'll teach you how to run it the correct way for cash accumulation, or you give me a typical client that you have. This is how I would do it. This is why. And the people that I'm working with also, they know that there's a problem with the industry in this regard, that
Yeah.
there are agents that are happy at WFG. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm glad that you're happy over there and it's giving you what you want. But I also know at the same time that they're not getting everything that they need to have a long, sustainable
Yeah.
business where referrals are going to come to them long term. They're going to have to continuously work so hard every single
Yeah.
year without fail. So if I want to change the industry, which is, our common goal here, I
Yeah.
want to change
Yeah.
the industry as well. How can I do that? It's not one client at a time. It's
Yeah.
agent. And
Yes.
right. So
Yes.
we actually have decided like it won't be Power 3 Financial.
Yeah.
People have to stay tuned because we don't have a name for it yet.
Hey, it's coming. Yeah.
We've put together different packages, whether you're an agent or an agency. Like agency is a pretty big thing like that we would go in
Yeah.
and help with. But like if you're an agent and you need help with how to generate leads or how to build a website, how to build a brand, how to utilize social media, how to do the entire client process, on top of like your tech automations, as well as product training on every single type of life product, indexed annuities and VULs included, basic taxes, budgeting, retirement plan,
Yeah.
information, full course on everything, as well as one-on-one time with me, with the other people at Power 3 Financial, where we're, basically promising we're going to take you from where you're at to where you want to be because we have done it. So we are starting right now with doing one-on-ones where, hey, if you want to sit down with me and you want me to walk you through the carriers you have or tell you which carriers you should be using based on what you have in the arsenal, right? I've actually
Yeah.
already worked with someone who, believe it or not, Patrice, like this guy worked at Navy Federal Credit Union. He's a financial advisor. And he
Mm.
is asking the TikTok girl, I don't know which IULs to use and why I should use them. And I see your content. He luckily, like, he's not just putting people into them.
Yeah.
I have all of these carriers that I can use. Like, I would love it if you can just tell me which ones to use and then show me how to use it. And so I had him go through the list, point out the carriers. There's a good like 10, 15, like, hey, these are all good ones. These are the
Yeah.
top 5 for what reasons. And then I will walk you through the software and tell you exactly how to use it, why you'd use it this way. And break down like the basics of the IUL. Like we can only do so much in an hour, right? But to do that, to make a difference that he has the knowledge to go and actually help
Yeah.
his clients and not figure it out on his own is how I'm not only helping like my clients, but now I've helped an agent who's going to help all of his clients that I'm never going to see because they're going to Navy Federal Credit Union.
Yeah.
Or they're not going to TikTok to find their life insurance information. So like that's how I'm going to change the industry is
Yes.
offering services and courses and training material, product training, business planning, all of it, actually building a reputable company within the industry like Power 3 Financial so that other agents
Yeah.
can go out. They don't have to, they don't like these agents. I feel like they don't understand that they don't have to work at WFG. They
Yeah.
don't have to work at GFI. Like they can do it all on their own. They really can.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to want to, but we could have all of these players in the insurance industry really making a difference in people's lives and getting away from making WFG money, right? Getting away from making Primerica money, get away from making FFL money. Like make yourself
Yeah.
money. Like cut out this middleman of the whole thing. Take control of it for your own best interest, for your client's best interest, and then they'll be able to then teach agents what they know and we can start a wave and a trend. So I'm very excited about this new kind of
Yeah.
adventure in the insurance industry. I think we play really well together.
Yeah, dude, this
You and
is
I,
what you're
what
saying
you're
is
doing.
it's so huge. I'm like, I don't know why you're talking so sexy to me. Like we're married, man. Like
Oh man.
nothing like someone talking insurance to turn me on a little bit. I was
I
like, oh my
right
God,
like
I'm feeling something. No, but seriously, like you're my people, bro. And just hearing you talk about what you're doing, we're literally the same person, but taking a different angle in this business that needs to be tackled. Some version of transparency, some version of education and integrity and all these things. And that's where I'm at. If I can inspire someone to make the right decision, that means you're going to go with the best company first,
yeah.
or you're going to weigh out your options and make sure it's the best decision, or do all the options so that you're not tied down to one company. And it's like that is the whole entire point of what we're doing. Even what you're doing, it is so beautiful. Like yes, yes, yes. Because again, we can't do it by ourselves. I can't do it by myself. So I'm so happy I found a person that's also doing it, and then I get to amplify that. Like, oh my God, you guys, she's doing 101s. Go do it correctly. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to spend what she's going to charge, or you know what I mean, or do you want to make some money? What
Yeah.
are you trying to do? Because you're not learning anything where you're at. The amount of people that I have sat and I poured into for like an hour for free because they called me and wanted advice, but then wanted me to work their policies with no compensation. I was like, baby, your upline's not even getting a check. And I just told you so many things you have not even been, you don't even know. You're confused at this point. And you think I'm gonna give you for me for free, baby? I cost money. I'm expensive. And I've
Yeah.
already given you enough to do the right things.
Yeah.
But if you want me to help you still do those things, you have to pay for that. I need to be compensated for that. But I'm literally here to help. But like you said, I gave you things to do. Why aren't you educating yourself and adding more onto that? And for people who are listening, we'll have all of Casey's information in the bio of this video. But Casey, can you let them know how they can contact you to get more information? Where can they find you at?
For sure. I mean, of course, on TikTok and Instagram, you can find me at Casey the Dollar. And if you want to reach out to me personally, right, email me. It's Casey the Dollar at power3financial.com. You can always slide into the DMs. I do my best to answer them, right? But sometimes the apps are weird and things get stuck in like a request or hidden folder. So if I don't respond to you, like, know that I really do my best. There's no automated bots answering my DMs for me. But email, the DMs, you can go straight to the links in my profile, right? Actually will have a button that says one-on-one training. Like, you can go find it right there. And underneath it, I actually did a pre-recorded training that you can purchase and watch, and it goes over 2 of my favorite carriers. And there's a lot more where that is coming from. So make sure you follow whichever platform that you prefer. And there's going to be lots of updates. So, and check out the website, right? power3financial.com. So
please do. So this does bring us to the end of the show. And so, Casey, is there anything that you want to leave us with? Any advice for someone considering a career in insurance, especially those coming from non-traditional backgrounds?
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you have a non-traditional background, like your background is not in business or finance, you should be in this industry. The industry needs people that I love to call regular ass people who just care about other people and other people's money and making sure that people have the right information. The industry needs that. It needs genuine people who are willing to learn and then just do something good with the information. Because if you want to get in, it does take more than just getting in and knowing you want to do the right thing. Get in, study, master the concepts and the products and the information, and go out and you'll be able to influence and change people's lives with what you know. And it always comes, it's always interpreted better from somebody who doesn't have this finance or business background. You're going to be more approachable, more genuine, and the industry needs that. So definitely don't think that you have to be this stuffy business math guy. You do not at all. Regular ass person, learn it, understand it, value it, and go bring it to everyone else. So
1000%. Thank you, Casey Dollar Bill, y'all.
Thank you, Patrice.
No, thank you for being here. This is so awesome. I will slide in your DMs all the time if you keep talking the way you be talking to me. Talk IUL to me.
Looking for the best ways to stand out in the insurance industry, connect with other agents, even find resources? Welcome to agentscorereport.com, where transparency meets opportunity. Hundreds of agents are already building their credibility with verified profiles. Don't get left behind. Join a growing community of top professionals who are making their mark. Sign up today at agentscorereport.com and take control of your reputation. Your future clients are waiting.